2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 2 of the semifinals of Good as Gold, number 29. Today's date is Monday, May 14th. I am OrD, that's ORD. You can find me on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. But most importantly, let's get to a game of StarCraft. And we see, in the upper right-hand corner of our screen, we have the Terran player in the purple trunks, Dut Money. And we raise the question for his opponent, the Red Zerg, in the lower left-hand corner. Can he win this game and prevent a decisive game number 3 for Dut Money? It is Lunatic. And now, unfortunately, at the beginning of the game, when I cast by myself, there's not a whole lot to talk about right now, which is why I've been kind of wandering over to the Diablo. I like to check into chat, especially on a bigger map like this. There's a lot of things to talk about. There's a lot of potentials for Reaper play. It's a lot of fun, however, with Overlord spread, like we see. That'll really be shut down. Lunatic definitely lost a lot of Overlords in that last game, but was able to recover Dut Money. I'm going to say overextending himself. He did say in between game that he felt he made a lot of mistakes, and that's really good to be able to say, I lost because I made mistakes, and these are what those mistakes were, and this is what I will do differently in the future. That is exactly what we hope all players that participate in Good as Gold will have an opportunity to do while they become more comfortable with the maps that appear in the Blizzard map pool. We see a little bit of a worker bump going on right there, and it looks like Dut Money is unaware of the fact that, in fact, on Shakura's Plateau, you cannot spawn close by ground. It has to be across map in the long positions. It doesn't have to be cross spawn, as it happens to be right now, but it does always have to be on the far side. So if you start in the upper right hand corner like you see him, you do not need to scout the lower right hand corner. You get to go all the way across the map and flip a coin and decide, do you want to scout up or do you want to scout down? In this case, gets the scout down and sees that the spawning pool is halfway done, along with the hatchery, and the assimilator has just finished, and we have 3 drones in it pretty much immediately. Nice timing there by Lunatic. Hopefully we see him take control of some of the Xel'Nagas. Then the SCV down here being on patrol. That is an interesting patrol path, and I don't think Dut Money intended it to be quite like that. He's going to be pulling back. I need the GSL soundtrack before a match starts. Season 1 2012, though, from the X. That would be amazing. I'm actually working on getting sound effects in general available, and we see some proxy Stargate. Well, no, rather some cloaked Banshee aggression that's going to be coming out of Dut Money. I'm calling it right now, because this positioning for a factory does not make any sense if you're making siege tanks, because in fact they will spawn right there and they'll get stuck. And along with Hellions, that they can't make it through that. That's not even a gap right there. That's nothing. See, we'll zoom in. We'll show you from different angles. That's not enough room. Not enough room. Neither is it over there. Wow, that's zoomed in. They're ugly like that. I am sorry. This Overlord from Lunatic is coming into the fray with his upgraded speed boots. Look at him just tear across the platform of our playing field, and he will very, very shortly get to see that there was a factory there. Where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, there's a Marine. Wow. Dut Money being very map aware. In fact, had control of this Xel'Naga and was able to pull his factory back towards the center before it could be scouted by that Overlord. Unfortunately, wasting a little bit of time. However, it doesn't matter, because the starport takes a lot longer to produce than a TAC lab does. Now an Overlord desperately fleeing for its life after being hit once. And really active with his Marines and his SCVs early on in the game is Dut Money. And Lunatic also is gaining great map vision. He's been sending this Overlord in a perhaps overly cautious direction, but if he had gone ahead and tried to cut this corner, this Marine aggression out of Dut Money would have spelt the end for it. So Lunatic with a very wise decision to move around the side. Unfortunately, he still is completely unaware of anything that Dut Money is doing. Let's check into his base and see that he does have one queen down. He has a Baneling nest on the way, and he has a second queen. He does not have an Evo chamber down. He does not have a lair on the way. So if this is a cloaked Banshee attack, as it obviously is going to be, Lunatic could be in for a lot of hurt, and it could very well turn into a base trade scenario. However, because Terran can fly and Zerglings can't attack the air, that more or less always goes in the Terran's favor. We see a third base coming down. Very nice early timing out of Lunatic. And more barracks being laid down. A second factory. That's an odd decision considering you're not making anything out of your first factory. I'm not sure what the intent is there. We do have a second Banshee on the way. Cloak will be done long before that second Banshee is. And we see, wow, the Dut Money is really committing to this one base aggression. I'm actually more or less positive that he cannot support this many production facilities off of one base for any kind of extended period of time. So after he's completed 1 or 2 production cycles out of each of them, I expect he'll be pulling some SCVs and going all in. Power Glove, X-Men, Star to Code S matches. Oh, that's okay. I actually have no idea if I'm allowed to use that. Sontran, thank you. I'm going to check that YouTube clip in between games and see if they have a copyright statement there. See if I'm allowed to use it. Don't want to get into trouble. There are some interesting rules about using free streaming sites while doing a presentation like this. I'm luckily haven't really particularly monetized it yet, so I'm free and clear in a lot of ways. And oh, the Banshees get scouted by a random Zergling positioning. And now they just fly back and forth, and let's see what Lunatic's reaction is. He does have an Evo chamber down, he does have a Spire on the way, and he will lay down that Spore Crawler. So now this Banshee aggression, because it's arriving past the 9-minute mark, really isn't going to probably get to do all that much. He's focusing down Spore Crawlers. This Spore Crawler is the more threatening one as it went down first. He will kill this Spore Crawler. He's going to have to take damage from these Queens and the other Spore Crawler. Another Banshee coming in, however, it's going to be pushed away. The Cloak does nothing because the Spore Crawler, again, is there, and they have a lot of vision. And that attack went extremely poorly, as only 5 workers were killed, and the Overseer arrives with the Queen. And the Banshees, with Cloaked Banshees, the investment that it takes, the time that it takes in order to create a Cloaked Banshee, means that each Cloaked Banshee has to get about 9 kills. A Banshee, just by itself without Cloak, has to get about 7 kills in order to truly pay for itself early on. So right now we see Dut Money in a horrible, terrible, awful position, and even though the supply difference is not that great, again, against Zerg, you're going to basically always be down by supply, and a silly little Zergling getting a kill there they definitely did not deserve. We will see very shortly that Lunatic is going to ramp up his production, and he's going to stop producing drones in general. He has 5 more mutas coming out. He has a great opportunity right now to just go into an army production cycle, go up by 40 supply, and push across the map and win the game. Let's see if he takes that opportunity. I'm telling you, when someone crushes your Banshees that badly, it's almost GG. It is really a difficult task to come back, and it requires a lot of fun little runarounds. You gotta find other ways to kill workers. A Hellion drop follow-off is normally a great idea, or at least a Hellion run-by. Siege mode tanks do allow you to get back into it. Hellions being out on the map right now, they will in fact do a pretty decent job at softening up these Lings who are unprotected with anything else. 3 mutas, but there are a lot more Marines than there are mutas, and in fact I am not sure where Lunatic's supply is. Oh, there we go. We have the rest of his army back home. We have a huge number of drones. Let's in fact open that units tab and see that we have 51 drones to 33. Never mind, it's not that huge. We see Dut Money producing drones, or no, producing SCVs, probably desperately. Unfortunately, he is supply blocked at the moment. He could call down a hat. Will he do it? Will he do it anywhere? Oh, I heard it. There it went. Oh, I'm not sure if we had it on screen. Tried to catch it. Lunatic, again, not having the greatest creep spread right now. He is just barely now connecting his bases. However, he does have 2 queens actively outdoing that, so he clearly plans on rectifying that issue. He, again, has lings in random positions throughout the map and has extremely good map vision. Really, truly good. And this Overseer may get away. Never mind. He's not getting out of there. That poor guy. Oh, just kidding, he will! The Hellions come in, the tanks are unsieged. The Mutalisk could definitely focus fire. Some damage, there we go. So the other Muta's getting involved in the fight, and really all of the Banelings and Zerglings dying. Perhaps unnecessarily, however, Lunatic now up by 80 supply after that exchange. Dutman extending himself too far out on the map, and now these Mutas, and now these Mutas, and now these Mutas. No? Okay. These Mutas should be moving in pretty soon. We don't see any oh no, we do see 1 missile turret going down. However, there's not nearly enough to push this many Mutas back. We do have 1 Baneling on the way, and that's going to be the clutch Baneling right there. That is the game-deciding Baneling right in the middle of that group of Zerglings. Let's highlight that for you. Oh yeah, he's rolling on out behind the Mutas, who get right-clicked in and take a lot more damage than perhaps they needed to. However, again, up by 80 supply. The DPS is just too much, and Dut Money, GG's. Dut Money says, I'll never be able to beat Temuta. It's decided. Lunatic says, I heart Temuta. And that is hardly surprising at all. It's possible to beat mass mutas. It is very frustrating and requires a lot of attention to your units. So we see that game decisively went to Lunatic, and we're going to bring you guys into the banner/overlay, and we're excited to announce that we will be having a guest caster for the finals. Please stick with us, as it may be a little bit of an extended delay, for which I will be on mute and the screensaver will be up, so please take the chance to take a bio break, anything like that. Again, thanks for watching. Don't go anywhere.